coming tonight? It's been crickets out there. I don't know what's going on. I hope y'all are okay. Let me see. And we don't have anybody yet. So, yeah, that's how it goes. It's been really quiet out there in YouTube land, at least for me. And yeah, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that along with a few other things, even if nobody even joins in tonight. There's some announcements that I want to make, some changes that I'm making. I hope y'all are making positive changes as we are getting into Aries season. Yeah, and definitely we've got that new moon coming up on April 1st. So fantastic time to launch new beginnings, new starts, fresh starts, clean the slate. And I've definitely got my mind on that. I'm like already there. I'm already there. I'm kind of done with March. I hope, March has been kind to y'all. It was a little bit for me. I was talking to my Pisces daughter, by the way, earlier today, and we were commenting on all the Pisces energy for March, and it was good for her, but I think it started getting a little toward the end. And for me, it was too much water. Too much water, but I feel the fog lifting, the Neptunian fog lifting, and I've been getting a lot more clarity. So I wanted to talk to y'all about that. By the way, today I was working on, actually the last 24 hours I've been working on getting out the astro reports for y'all. And I want to address really quickly, and I'm gonna have to do it again in those videos, but I'm gonna do it here. I got a not so nice comment for the astrology report that I put out in March. And, I wanted to kind of address that. And I see somebody's here, whoever you are. Hi, welcome. The March astrology, that I put out, that I got some negative feedback on, it says very clearly it's a commentary, okay? And I don't know if you guys are noticing, but I'm putting out the important dates only. So if all you want is just the facts, ma'am, with the astrology, I've got a video solely for that. And it doesn't get into any current events, any politics, any commentary, really not much of any commentary. Okay, so it's pretty neutral. If that's what you're going for, I have the content for that. But for others of you who want to kind of get some commentary on connecting these dots as to how do these energies relate to what's going on currently, then I have a separate video that I put out, that I've been putting out like every month for that. So apparently somebody clicked on that video and they didn't like it. And, I have to address that, well, that's what the video clearly says. And if you don't like it, there's an alternative. Or, you just don't have to watch, right? We're all grown-ups here. We don't have to put a negative comment and tell people just to shut up because we don't agree with them, right? There's better uses of energy, which, by the way, I have to take my own advice. I'm going to share with y'all about that in just a moment. But yeah, okay, so I'm working on the two astrology videos for April, and that's going to be released next week, okay? And if anybody's here and wants to talk astrology, then, you're more than welcome to. But I also wanted to announce that I am going to try to do 2 lives a month. And I'm going to time them around the new and full moons. Okay, so for April, we've got the new moon in Aries on the 1st of April. And then on April 16th, we have a full moon in Libra. So basically, when I go live on those dates, I am going to pull cards for the signs requested. So those of you who maybe been out of the loop or you're new to my channel, in years past, I just do all the signs, no questions asked, but things have changed on YouTube. It's very different. So, you know, now what I do is just the signs requested. So y'all can go onto my community page and you can leave a comment there. I will probably put out some kind of, question, poll, or whatever, a few days to a week ahead of this. Hello, highly favored. Good to see you. And so that's where you can let me know. So when I do go live, I'll know to do your sign and we'll do it live. Okay, that's how I will incorporate, because I think I've been sharing with you guys that I've wanted to get back to tarot. It's just, how do I do this in a reasonable way, given the fact that there's, so much saturation of tarot readings already on YouTube. And I don't want to be putting out, work that is just getting buried in the search engine results and nobody's seen it because there's like how many thousand other readings out there. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that my content is catered to my audience. And so, yeah, if you're subscribed and you have activated the bell for notifications, then I will put out a question to say, hey, I'm doing these live readings on the upcoming new moon or the upcoming full moon. Let me know what sign you want me to cover, and then I'll do it. I'll do it when we go live. Now, Lord willing, I'm gonna just say, like, I'm hoping that these energies don't get the best of me, because y'all know I got mostly water in my chart. So sometimes I get a little, I'm not gonna lie, I get a little bit loopy around these lunar energies. Sometimes I just walk it off. It's like nothing, But other times I have gotten some lunar energies that are like really hard hitting, and I'm like travailing in the spirit, I'm like really trying to purge and do healing work. But anyway, hopefully that's not going to be an issue in April. Highly Favor says she got my book. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate your support. I put out a lot of content, by the way, on that book in January. I don't know if y'all caught it, but I put out 30 days straight of content, reading excerpts out of my book, and I hope that helped y'all. But yeah, just every little piece of support I get helps, and I definitely appreciate it. But okay, so we covered that I've got the astrology stuff coming up next week. I've been working on it. Yesterday I was working on, April's astrology videos that I will release next week. And I covered, for those of you who are just now joining in, I mentioned that if you just want a totally neutral astrology, I usually put that out first on the important dates video. And then if you want, commentary to really help connect the dots of how these energies are translating into everyday life, again, according to my perception, for whatever that's worth, I have a video for that as well. I'm going to go live twice a month on the full moon and the new moon, which for April will be the 1st and the 16th. I will do live tarot readings, and if you want to make sure that I'm doing your sign, because I'm only doing the signs requested, then make sure you have activated the bell for notifications, because I'll put out a question as to what signs you want. Okay. All right. The other thing that I want to share with you is that I have decided to branch out, and I've been talking to y'all about this. I've been talking to y'all about this off and on for probably the last year, and I've talked about maybe going over to TikTok, and I'm an Aquarian with a Mercury in Aquarius, so I mean, I can get analysis paralysis, and believe you me, I thought this thing up, down, left, and right. Okay, I went over to TikTok, I joined TikTok, I set up a profile, I looked around, I got familiar with it. I even took some of their like creator workshop thingies, but then after all was said and done, I'm like, nah, it's oversaturated over there, worse than YouTube on the tarot reading. So I'm just like, I'm not going to do it. And there's, as you know, a lot of change going on with these social media platforms. And I have thought off and on about going to some of these very alternative networks, okay? But again, I never quite felt peace or release to do it. And then finally, I think it was last weekend, I was watching Dollar Vigilante. I've talked to him about him a lot on here. He's the guy who got me into crypto. He's on Twitter. They banned him from YouTube. But anyway, I was listening to him, and there was something he said, and it's like it's an ageless, timeless truth. I've known it for a long time, but I don't know. I just didn't. You know how when you know things, you got the head knowledge, but you don't quite have it in here. Like, this is the right thing to do, but you're not really right. And he tapped into that. Okay, he said, the way that we bring change is not by fighting the old, but by ushering in the new. Okay. And so he was basically saying, we need to go onto these other platforms. We need to help build those. And yeah, you might feel like you're the only one there. There's not hardly any audience over there, but this is how we do it. This is how we bring change. Like, I can't change YouTube, obviously, and I have been for the last couple years since, the algorithm radically shifted for me back in September of 2019 when I hit my 2-year anniversary. I have been like stuck. Blame it on my double fix. Like, but why isn't this working? But this used to work. Well, what if I try this? And what if I try that? And and then honestly, the last year I've just been like, I don't know, keep going. I don't know, just keep going, and but something that Jeff Berwick said with Dollar Vigilante, something just finally unlocked it with me. Like, yeah, I know the right thing to do. I just haven't pulled the trigger, and I need to pull the trigger. So I did. Okay. And so basically, I am now set up over on BitChute. I am now set up on Odyssey. And if y'all want to find me over there, it is in the description box, okay, beneath the video. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, but I want to answer, I think some people have commented here. Deborah, good to hear from you. She says, thank you, I watch your readings. Suns in Libra, moons in Gemini. I am Libra. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Deborah. That is really sweet of you. It's odd because I started out doing, for those of you who are just now finding me and you don't know the background of this channel, let me just tell you, I launched this channel in September of 2017. And it grew very, very quick. It grew rapidly. In fact, the bulk of my subscribers that I had came from that time frame. And all I did was tarot, astro tarot. That's all I did. That was my niche, And then when the algorithm shifted, I was not getting the views. The new kids on the block were getting the views. And you see that same thing is going on here, which is, I've researched this, it's a YouTube policy. They're trying to encourage the new people, which I somewhat understand, that's cool. But then what's happened is some of us, old dogs who have been around here for a while and, have been doing tarot for years professionally, full time. I'm talking like 60 plus hours a week I was doing for 2 years. My kids didn't see me. I was constantly in my room doing tarot. Those of us who have really refined and honed our craft, well, we're getting lost. We're getting buried in the search results. And I see other people, I see other readers on here going through this, and it pains me because I know what they're doing. Some of you who have not been on this side of the screen, you don't know what's going on, but I know when readers are putting out lives every day, when they're putting out shorts, when they are doing all kinds of, shenanigans, okay, to grab attention and hold attention and whatnot. I know that they're trying to maintain their audience and not lose views and not lose the subscribers, because it's almost right when YouTube no longer is supporting you because you at that level, because you've reached that 2-year mark, it's sink or swim. And so, but at this rate, it's really hard. It's really hard for a lot of in the tarot community, because like I said before, there's oversaturation. There's so much competition. So when you get buried, boy, do you really get buried. And I've heard people say to me, "Where have you been? I've never seen your channel." Or, people who have been following me for a long time, they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, you are getting shadow banned. There's no way around it. You're definitely," and I do low key think that. I know I'm getting shadow banned on Twitter, by the way, which I don't go under this name over there, but I've actually been able to run diagnostics analytics on that, and it came back for damn sure I'm being shadow banned on Twitter. I would not be surprised if that's happening over here. But regardless, even if you mind your P's and Q's, if you're beyond the 2-year mark and you're doing tarot on here, good luck. And again, even to the newbies, it's sad for me because I see they're doing the same. It's the same thing that I went through, where they're putting so many hours into it because they see they're getting more views, more subscribes, they're building. But then when you get, even some of the larger channels, shockingly, they're struggling, to pay their bills. You'd be surprised. You'd really be surprised. So George has joined us. And George, welcome in. And with those emojis, I don't know where you're going with that, but I do have to issue my standard public service announcement, which I usually do when I go live. And that is to remind y'all that this is open chat, and I am a pretty open-minded person, so y'all are welcome to flow with me, and I'll flow with you. However, what we won't be talking about on here is, you having any itches that you want me to scratch, because I'm not here for that, right? This ain't sex.com. And it's, I gotta say it every time I go live, because we're on YouTube and we're gonna get those people. We are. And I'm not saying that's you, George, but let's put it out there for anybody who needs it. Public service announcement, right? It's not ho-ho central. All right, and Daphne has joined in, says, "Good evening, astrology is the best." I love astrology, Daphne, and I've been trying to shift into doing more astrology. As I mentioned earlier, I've been working on putting out 2 astrology videos for April's astrology, which is going to be pretty spicy, I think, especially the first week of April. So I hope, y'all are going to stay tuned for that. I'm pretty excited about releasing those videos. And Daphne says, "I'm going to have to check out your book. Thank you for your videos and work. You go." Oh, thank you. That is so kind of you. So, yeah, I think that I was sharing with y'all earlier, my whole evolution, I guess, with this channel of starting out strict tarot, and then astro tarot, and then after the 2-year mark, I was like, okay, what am I gonna do here, to cope with, the changes, the algorithm and all that. And I decided I was gonna put more evergreen content out, which I have done like over the last 2 years. I was kind of shocked to see like I have some playlists that have like over 30 videos of evergreen content. And for those of you who don't know that lingo, that basically means, content that is always relevant, right? Like last month, I put out evergreen content on attachment styles. That's just kind of ageless, timeless wisdom. That's always going to be relevant. So, I never really entirely abandoned tarot on this channel. Ever so often I pop on and do it, and I wanted the evergreen tarot content there so that if something came up in a tarot reading, there were resources to help viewers do the self-help, self-awareness, self-healing work to deal with whatever issues were coming up with tarot. By the way, I don't know if y'all saw it. Let me know what y'all think about that video I put out about the shadow side of online tarot. Because, I kind of talked about a little bit about these issues of online tarot, and I really want to get back. I really want to get back onto it. But it's like, again, is it wise for me to do this on YouTube? And that's why, as I was saying earlier, I went ahead and I set up channels over on BitChute.com and Odyssey. And I want to say, if you're a content creator and you are relating to anything that I'm saying here about the struggles that we're having in the tarot community with oversaturation, I want to encourage y'all to go over to Odyssey, okay? BitChute's pretty cool too, but in a different way. Let me say, with both of them, you can earn, instead of earning AdSense, which doesn't really earn a lot, you can earn crypto on both of those networks, which I think is pretty cool, especially if you're into crypto, if you understand crypto. Yeah, really cool, okay? And, but Odyssey in particular, when I set up over there, it was amazing. They've got this technology on Odyssey where they can sync your YouTube channel. Now, it took a couple hours for them to do it because I have like over 200 videos here on YouTube. But when they did it, my God, they imported everything and flawlessly. I didn't even really have to set up the account. I didn't have to do the profile pic or name or banner or my about page. Everything was just like synced seamlessly. It was beautiful. And then because I came in with all this content, they immediately gave me crypto points. They immediately rewarded me for content. And so, and then I recently uploaded a new video, and it just automatically synced over. So I don't even have to repost over on Odyssey. It automatically pulls it up without me, and then it credits me crypto. So I just want to put that out there for you. If you're trying to find another way to earn money or reach an audience that is not saturated. And I think honestly, this is the future, okay? And this, I'm gonna be really Aquarian out there and tell you the next thing I'm gonna try to tap into is the metaverse. I'm not talking about Meta, owned by FBI book. I'm not talking about that. Okay, I'm talking about metaverse. Because that's the future, along with the cryptos and the NFTs. I'm sorry if I'm getting Aquarian out there, but I'm kind of excited about that. That's going to be a whole nother terrain. We've got to go into areas that are not saturated, okay? We've got to try to find different ways to make money because it ain't working. You ever been in a dysfunctional relationship, a toxic relationship, and it might have started out really good, but then something changed, and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? This used to work. What happened? And then you're like, well, if I try to fix it, and maybe I've had this, and maybe I've had that, but nothing you do works because maybe that ship has sailed, maybe y'all actually never had anything commented in the first place, or who knows, and you're just not figuring this out. By the way, I pulled cards on my future here on YouTube, or advice on YouTube, and I got 6 of Swords, which is move on. The ship has sailed. Like, yeah. Find a friend, get on out of there, that kind of thing. So I got some more videos. Norman is saying, you aren't God. You can't give anyone readings. Islam forbids this. I'm Muslim and only God knows the future. Well, get on out of here then. I mean, nobody's trying to convert you, okay? And I don't know. I mean, apparently, like, I'm not Muslim, but last I checked, y'all follow Muhammad, right? Is he not a prophet according to your belief system? And what is a prophet? Someone who prophesies the future? I'm not going to debate, okay? Just because I'm not here to talk about Islam, all right? And I'm not even saying that I'm God, but I do believe I'm a child of God, absolutely, and we all are. And to be perfectly honest with you, I come from a faith that believes that, we are all capable of practicing the gifts of the Spirit, prophecy being one of them. And Jesus said, my sheep will know my voice. They will hear my voice and they will know my voice. And again, maybe you are, not a follower of Jesus, but if you claim Islam, again, from what I understand, prides itself on being disciples of Christ. They consider Christ a spiritual teacher. So, Norman, God bless you. We need to move on. We got any other comments here? Because I could rant, y'all know, like I could go on a total ramble about that. But we've got bigger fish to fry, better things to talk about. So, what else? Oh, and I want to tell y'all along the lines of this idea of not fighting the old, but building the new instead, all right, with, what's going on with technology, social media platforms, censorship, algorithm suppression, yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm going to say. I don't know if y'all caught the news, but DuckDuckGo, recently, the CEO put out some kind of notice, I think on Twitter, saying that they're going to start censoring some of their search results. And people like me are like, yes, so why are we using you then? Because we could just go get that over at Google. We got onto DuckDuckGo, so we didn't have to deal with that. Now you're telling us it's going to be the same thing, And so Jeff Berwick, again, Dollar Vigilante, he was saying, just screw this, go over to Brave. And I don't know if y'all have heard of Brave, but it's a search engine, right? Instead of Google Chrome, you can use Brave. And they also have their own search engine. So instead of Google search or DuckDuckGo, which I've been using DuckDuckGo for the last year or so, I shared that with y'all on my channel. We'll just switch to Brave search engine and Brave web browser, which I'm doing. And my God, I'm so glad I did, because let me tell you, I'm getting crypto off that too. And it's like basically all these ads that y'all are getting, I am realizing how badly I have been abused by Google, okay? Because when you go on Brave, they ask you, when you log in to get online, they ask you, would you like to earn rewards or points by looking at our advertisers? So you get to choose, do you want to look at the advertisers or not? And if you click, yeah, I will look at your advertisers, then they basically pay you. You earn crypto points. You earn crypto dollars off of looking at their little pop-up ads and whatnot. So, And they do that every time. Every time you log on, they ask your permission to send you advertisements, and then they pay you. So, wow, what a novel idea. Some people, they don't know they're in an abusive relationship. They just don't know any better till they get better. And then they're like, holy crap, why was I putting up with that? I didn't even have to. I could just go over to Brave, you know? And so I don't know. Those of you who are just now joining in, I'm sharing how I'm earning crypto off of using putting my content over on Odyssey.com. I'm earning crypto off of putting content over on BitChute. I'm earning crypto off of Brave search engine and web browser. So it's really a lovely thing. I'm super stoked about it. And now everybody's quiet. We have people here. Y'all talk about whatever y'all want. How was March for y'all? I felt March was like, I was kind of excited about it. And I think it started off really good. But I think that, I've got so much water in my chart. It was just too much. It was too much. It's like, I realize, I think, and we can all do this, back to the astrology. Look at your natal chart. What are you deficient in, and what do you have enough of? Like, I've got enough water from me and 2 people, okay? Like, it's enough, right? And so, I went and married a Cancer for 20 years. Too much freaking water between the 2 of us. Too much. Water is unstable, okay? Not good at all. And so I'm like, okay, note to self, don't do that. And then, Pisces season, well, in some way I sync with it, in other ways, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I got enough of that. So I'm glad to get out of all that water energy. I'm happy that we're shifting into fire. And yeah, for me in my natal chart, I'm deficient in fire. So that's what I have the least amount of. I only have 1 fire placement, and that is North Node in Sagittarius in the 7th house. So that's my only, well, no, and I've got a Chiron and Juno in Aries. But like the major planets, no. So, yeah. And Neptune in Sagittarius in the 7th house, North Node, yeah. So anyway, I mean, it just depends, I guess, to each his own, right? The energy is working very well for me. Being in Aries season, it always does. Y'all let me know in the comments down below if you're excited about Aries season. How did you fare in March? Daphne is saying Libra Sun, Cancer Moon, Gemini Rising. So Daphne's got a lot of, just like me, a lot of air and water. That Cancer Moon is lovely, by the way. Very, very empathic. You gotta guard that. Libra Sun, Gemini Rising. You're a smart one. You're a smart one. I bet you communicate yourself really well too. But yeah, that's it. I'm not sure what else I want to discuss with y'all. I think that's pretty much everything I had like written out in terms of, oh yeah, she says 24-degree moon Cancer. You're very Cancer, right? 24 degrees. Yeah. So, yeah, almost Leo leaning, right? You gotta watch that. That can be, somebody better not get you on a bad day. Daphne says, yes, ma'am. I'll be 50 in September. Born at night, I feel ya. Aw. Highly favored to say my birthday was March 6th. Oh, happy belated birthday. She says the month was pretty smooth. I am Pisces Sun, Moon, Venus, and Mercury. Yeah, I love that. I love that about you. I think that's why you and I relate so much, because we've got a lot of similar Pisces placements. And I was really hopeful for us that we would be very blessed from Jupiter and Pisces, which is basically the first half of this year. Really benefic energy for, Pisces placements. My daughter, Pisces Sun, has been doing magnificent, like, wow. Like, she will update me and tell me what's going on. She's an artist and she's been doing art shows, and she's just like been selling like a boss. I mean, she will tell me how much money she made over the last weekend. This was during March, and I'm like, oh my God, like so happy for her. It's like the heavens are raining down. But I kind of felt a little bit sad within myself because it didn't work out that way for me. I don't know why. I figured out today, damn it, I've got like Black Moon Lilith in my second house for the next 5 months. Like, it's always something. And then you got Saturn in Aquarius, and I've got 3 Aquarius placements. So I'm like, oh my God, and it's in my 10th house. Ugh, always something, always. Daphne's wishing highly favored a happy birthday. That's Jupiter in her sign. Yes, it is. It is. So, yeah, I mean, I was hopeful, and I still am. I'm dealing with also. I do have some positive things going on in my chart. Like, I just had my Mars return, and I'm coming into my Jupiter return. So that's positive. That's exciting. But I'm just like, okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where's my break? Do I ever get a break? But I'm trying to like be balanced, right? Because we can see really positive, we can isolate those energies, but at the same time, there's other things going on, right? Like the Black Moon Lilith placement and the Saturn in my sun sign and the 10th house placement. Like, it's not, I don't know. I'm hearing that saying, every rose has its thorn. So you just gotta, be balanced with what's going on. Highly favored is saying in Vedic astrology, I'm Aquarius sun moon. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, in Vedic astrology, I think I'm a Capricorn, which I'm like, get out of here. No, I'm not. I rebuke that. Sorry, Capricorns. I've got issues. I was raised by 2 Capricorns. So, yeah, both my parents are Capricorns. So I'm like, I'm not like them. No. Daphne's saying we're going through it to get to it. I know, Daphne. I know. I believe you're going through it too. You said you're going to be 50 in September. And I'm trying to remember. I think you are coming into your Chiron return. Look into that. There's a very important transit that occurs around 50, 51 years old. And I think it's your Chiron return. Don't quote me on that. My brain's a little fuzzy still from Pisces. March. Yeah. We'll blame it on that. But, that's not easy, so when you say we're going through it, absolutely, I know you are. And those of us who have their Chiron in Aries, which are the 70s kids, the 70s babies, those of us who were born in the 70s, we were born during Chiron in Aries, and right now Chiron is in Aries. So we're getting triggered like, whoo! I'm going to talk a little bit about that when I do the astrology video for April. I'm going to talk about how, and I think it's something that most astrologers are not going to bring up right now, but I think it's relevant because we've got so many energies with the North Node in Taurus, and we're easing into Taurus energy toward the end of April, and we're coming into that eclipse in Taurus at the end of April. Taurus is a lot about self-worth, self-worth, self-worth. And then you tag onto that this additional layer of, of Chiron being in Aries right now. And then you tag on the additional layer of, if you're a 70s baby, you're really getting triggered with these self-worth issues. I mean, it's layers upon layers of maybe unresolved insecurity issues that we're all having to deal with. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about it, but yeah, it's rough. We gotta hang in there. Um, and so yeah, highly favored is saying your book. I need to know how to get the audio book. It's in the description box below the video. There's a link to get the audio book. Daphne's saying all we can do is keep our heads up, keep on moving, and try hard to stay positive. I know, and it's like, I'm gonna say this on the whole positivity thing. I went through a time in my life, I'd say about my 30s, okay, when I especially really steeped in church and Christianity, a charismatic Christianity, this kind of name it, claim it type. It's a kind of rebranding of the positivity movement for Christian audiences, right? And I was really into that for a long time. I tried it, and it didn't work. And it's interesting. I made friends with the lady, Aries woman, by the way, and she kind of had this different. It was weird. It was like she was opposite of me, where she came from a Christian background, got into New Age spirituality, and she and I came to the same conclusion, even though we had like an opposite, right? Where I kind of came from New Age, then Christian, then New Age, which I hate to say I'm New Age, like, but I'm trying to like put it in a nutshell, right? But anyway, we came from totally different backgrounds, but we came to the same conclusion that there's like no magic formula. You can't escape the lessons of this life. There's no amount of prayer or fasting or reading your Bible or smoking your sage, yeah, laying your crystals out, recharging them, all that, whatever, okay? Healing your chakras, whatever, you fill in the blank, whatever you think is the magic combination to get around the lessons of this life. It just has to be, and we came to the same conclusion, although we came from, different experiences or opposite experiences. So, and where I'm at right now at 47, and you're not far off from that, right? I'm talking to Daphne. You're not off from 47. I don't think highly favored is either, but you know, I'm trying to make the most out of this life, right? Like, how do you make lemonade from the lemons? Where's the sugar? I don't know. I gotta find it. Where's the clean filtered water? I don't know. I gotta find it. But how do we do that? And that's kind of what I'm trying to wrap my head around, because when you get to this stage in life, you're kind of half done, right? And you have the perspective of, well, I don't have quite the confidence that I did in my 20s, that I'm going to go out and just like take this world by storm. And you get humbled, right? The experience of life humbles you to your own, I don't know, power, since for some powerlessness, which I think is a lot of Chiron and Aries powerlessness, or a sense of irrelevance. Chiron and Aries, yeah. And you start just asking yourself, at least I do, okay, so what if this is what it is? I mean, I've been in this game for almost 50 years now, and what are the chances it's going to change? If this is how it is, like, how do I make the most of this? How do I accept, I don't know, my lot in life? Does that sound depressing? I'm just trying to be realistic. I'm trying to be down to earth here. Highly Favored is saying, you have helped me evolve over the past years. I am thankful for you helping me grow. Girl, I'm 52 years young. I love that saying, 52 years young. Hey, I'm gonna do it too. You know what? You're teaching me. I gotta change the way I talk. I'm not, I'm not 47 years old. I'm 47 years young. I love that. And thank you, by the way. Thank you for the positive feedback. I really appreciate that. Um, we need it. We need encouragement. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Pisces season was I talked on my channel about how Pisces season was a good time to do self-healing, self-awareness work. Um, and that, of course, impacted me as well. I'm no exception to that. There are painful things that I've become aware of within myself and others, things that I realize I have to address. And it's not a quick fix. It's not um, something that I'm going to resolve in Pisces season. It's like, oh, okay, this is what I'm going to be working on over the next year. That's great. Can we just be done with this? Like, can I get a get out of jail card, please? Because I'm kind of tired of this. I'm getting tired of this. But again, back to the whole comment about making lemons into lemonade. As I go through these personal struggles, and feeling discouraged, right? Because maybe I'm definitely not getting the affirmation from YouTube, not getting the views that I used to get, not getting the monetization payout that I used to get. That can be really discouraging. But I just keep going. I'm just like, well, you only got one life and you make the best out of it. And as I go through my struggles and journeys and I learn and I do the self-healing, I'm trying to share it with you. I'm trying to share with you how I'm evolving or trying to evolve. And if I never make any money off of it, oh well, I'll die and I'll answer God and I'll be like, look, I tried. These people want to take me to the poorhouse, but damn it, I tried. These people being, the tech giants, the algorithms, right? So that's all I can do. That's all I know to do, right? Daphne is saying, all I do is have good intentions and let it go and let God and universe hold me tight, and what is with me will be for me. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting to this place as well, Daphne, where I'm kind of like trying to let go of the expectations. Especially like the more that we realize about this reality, that there's so much illusion, so much fakery going on, so much superficiality. Even people who go on psychedelics, they'll tell you none of this is real. Stop taking it so seriously, And that's hard for me. By the way, I'm a very serious soul. It's hard for me to not take things seriously, but the longer I live, the more I'm just like, well, to hell with this shit. I'm just, oh, you don't want to pay me? Too bad. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to make the money. Oh, you want to unsubscribe because I talked about politics? I don't care. It's my voice. You're not taking my voice from me. I'm just going to do my life mission. I'm going to do what I feel Spirit is leading me to do, whether people agree with it, understand it, support it or not, and I'm trying to basically, I think that's what's really hard for a lot of people, by the way. A lot of people are living the life that they were told they were supposed to live by others. or that they think they have to live in order to have what they want. There's so much conniving and contriving going on rather than people really get in alignment and saying, you know what, I'm going to do what is in good conscience for me to do. If my conscience says no, I'm gonna not do it. As bad as it hurts me, as much as I wish this wasn't so. By the way, I think we're going to continue to have a little bit more of this kind of energy in April. It's this carryover of idealism with this Piscean energy. When Pisces moves into Venus, of, people having these ideals and reality not quite matching up to it. Right, we're living in a reality that doesn't really reward truth tellers. It's rough. If you're a truth teller and if you live according to your conscience, it's a rough reality, you know. So, okay, so I want my MTV says, by the way, I like your screen name. I want my MTV too. I want the old MTV back from the 80s. Could we get that back? And I want my MTV says it all goes downhill after 50 gets way easier. I hope so. I really hope so. I don't know. I don't know though. I'm not holding my breath. And I had an astrologer tell me about my Mars in Capricorn. She's like, yeah, the first 40 years of your life, rough, but it's going to get way easier. And I'm like 47 now. I'm going, okay, where the hell is it? Where is it? So, yeah, Daphne's saying detached. My Cancer moon feels, yeah, I'm on that with astrology, self tough. It's evil time. Yeah, it is. It is. And I think that at this point that I'm at in my life and just sizing up reality and how it compares to my ideals, right? And I'm a very idealistic person. I've got an Aquarius stellium and a Pisces stellium, like, that's my Achilles heel in life. Very idealistic. And that hurts. That hurts. That sober reality, that, yeah, we're not in Kansas. We're not. Especially not now. We might have had some hope of make-believing that we were pre-COVID, but not anymore. And reconciling the ideals with reality is really hard and, and painful. Definitely for me with all my water placements, like, it's very painful. Like, I just suck it up. And I'm coming to this place of brutal honesty with myself that I'm like, okay, well, if this is the way it is, what are you going to do? You've only got one life. You've got your conscience, you've got your spirit, that's sacred. Am I going to sell my soul out like a lot of people are in order to get the trappings of this world? Or am I going to say to hell with it? I'm going to live life on my terms. Nobody's going to own my voice. And I'm going to live according to my conscience. And that's pretty damn radical. That's pretty rare. And by the way, I kind of opened up to that thinking because of Jordan Peterson. He really influenced me on that. Jordan Peterson talks a lot about this. That at the end of the day, that's really all that's going to save you. Because sadly, a lot of people who've sold their souls for, material gain, they're living in fear. They're living in fear now of either getting caught or found out, exposed, or having it taken from them, having it stolen from them. So, and when you come to that point where you gain everything only to lose it, you get brought to this reality check of, all I have really is my conscience, my soul, my voice. That's my value, and they're trying to take that away from people. People don't understand this is not small stuff going on with the censorship, okay? This is big. When they own your voice, when they own your healthcare decisions, they own you. You're a slave. Sorry, I'm getting on like a damn high horse about that. Let me go back to the comments. Highly Favored is saying, oh, let me go. I want my MTV said, after 50, you have no more F's to give. Hey, oh, hell yeah. You are preaching to the choir over here. I want my MTV. Let me tell you something. I think it was a midlife crisis in my energy in my mid-40s that really did it for me, okay? I'm saying like 41 through 44, roughly, is when we go through a lot of midlife crisis energy, astrologically speaking, okay? I certainly did. And I got a lot of that knocked out of my system during that time, because let me tell you what, I lost my job. I lost my home, and I saw how many people did not care. And at that point in time, this was like right before I launched this channel, I was on FBI Book. And I had a lot of followers on there, and some would even say that I was like addicted to it, okay? Addicted to the social media. I was constantly on there talking to people. But then when that happened, like when you go through a major life crisis, and a lot of people do by their 40s, there's some major life crisis, and then you just sit back and you watch. You watch how people react. It's very telling. Very, very telling. It reveals the strength of your relationships. And I was shocked. I was shocked at how many people did not care. They wouldn't get involved. Matter of fact, if I needed help because I was struggling as a single mom of 3 kids, they're just going to keep scrolling. They don't want to see it. They don't want to get involved. And that's when I realized like how plastic, how shallow so many of these relationships were. And then I started looking at myself like, my God, why am I giving my attention, my energy, my time to these people? Like, I need to put my attention on saving myself, because these people won't even throw me a life raft. Why the hell? And then I started realizing the only reason they were talking to me is because they were bored or lonely. And that's when I shut down, the FBI Book account. You can't find me on there. I'm not on there. And I launched this channel. I said, I'm going to connect with people who value me, who want to exchange value. If I'm going to be putting my energy into something, it's because there's an exchange going on here. And that's what I've been doing since that time. But yeah, back to what I want my MTV was saying. Oh yeah, I'm pretty much there. I started getting there in my early 40s. That was rude, by the way. Rude, but I will say in hindsight, very, very empowering. So, anyway, let me go back to these comments. Highly Favored says, grasping my thoughts by thinking about what I was thinking about, then taking steps to change what I have the power to change, and leaving the rest was a breath of fresh air. Yeah, it's like that serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to, accept the things that I can't change and to know the difference. And that's kind of where I'm at too. I quit also around that 40-ish midlife crisis energy. I just stopped arguing with people, because I'm telling you, it's the age, right? It just catches up to you. You get some perspective. You're like, damn it, I have been arguing with this person for 2, 3, 4 decades now over the same shit, and they never change. And I'm like, God, I'm done with this shit. And I'm not going to do this anymore. I will never do this again. Like, and you just cut that out. You cut that shit out. You stop investing in bad investments. You really do. I'm so with you on that. Highly favored. Daphne's agreeing. No F's giving. 100%. Boy, does it hurt. It does. Because it's back to, God, I really wanted this to work out. I really wanted this to come together with this person, you know? Why can't we work this out? Why can't we sort this out? Like, no amount of reasoning or sacrifice or effort ever effing changes, excuse my French. You know? Tough lessons, when to walk away, when to walk away. Deborah's saying, I love it. People suck, go south. Go south. People treat others a little better. I'm in my 60s until I look in a mirror, I think I'm 30. We all have to go for it right now, now. Yes. Well, thank you for your comment on the people from the South. I am a Southerner, born and raised. Thank you very much, y'all. But I agree. I mean, I got to agree with you. I've traveled up north, and it's definitely a different social identity. Okay. Daphne's saying it's sad, been there, and it hurts. James is saying, oh my God, I just won $500,000 on a scratch-off ticket. Well, James, my PayPal link is in the description box down below. You know, I receive. God bless you. And return it 100-fold in Jesus' name, right? Why do I think you're just kidding with me, James? James is probably pulling my leg because, yeah, he's saying my life just changed literally. Really? I mean, you can share some of that love. I'm open to it. I'm open to receive that, okay? Because it happens for other people, but you know, I'm over here, you know, if you want to help somebody out. Everybody's like congratulating James. Hey, I mean, James, okay, I hope you're not pulling my leg. I hope this is real, because if it is, that's amazing. Like, whatever that is, can I have some of that? Can you, like, energetically, can this rub off, right? I need that. I need that. It's like that stuff never really happens to me, but, all right. He's saying, thanks, everyone. I want my MTV is saying, I, too, lost my job 24 years and home in 2017. Major tower event, also single mama for, oh my gosh. What is your sign? Are you Aquarius or Leo? Or do you have prominent Aquarius, Leo placements? Because you know what was going on at that time. We were in an Aquarian, Leo eclipse cycle. Like, the Aquarians and the Leos were getting the shit knocked out of them. Like, I have an uncle who's Leo, and he passed away in 2017. Brutal, brutal. He died out on the streets. And I couldn't help him. I couldn't help him because I was struggling to keep my head above the water. So I'm telling you, that time frame was very hard. If you don't have any prominent Aquarius Leo placements, I want my MTV. If you don't have any prominent Aquarius or Leo rather placements, I'd be shocked. Yeah, James is saying, I want my TV. Do you want $4,000? Hell, I'll take 4,000 in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I will take whatever you can throw this way. I would just love it. But you have me going. I hope you're not pulling my leg. But, you know, again, with all this Pisces energy, we can dream now, can't we? We can dream. James is saying, I'm serious. Okay. For your kids, you got it. Oh my gosh, James. All right, we'll see. PayPal link down below. Yeah, PayPal. I got other links too. PayPal doesn't work for you? I got Square. I've got Cash App. By the way, I just added Venmo. Hell yeah. I got them all. I'm wide open to receive the money. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm speaking to the universe too. Like, bring it. Where is it? Damn it. It's my, you know, Jupiter return that I'm entering in. By the way, my Jupiter's in 11th house, having to do with all things Aquarian, friends, social media. So if I get any kind of lucky breaks, it comes through those areas of life. So that would be fantastic. Denise is saying, where you put your energy is what you're focused on. Change the focus, change your... Yeah, you know, I used to believe that, Denise. I really did. You gotta be careful with that, okay? You gotta be careful. I think there's some truth to it. I really do. You know, there are people who are depressed, and it's like, dear God, get out of your house. Stop staring at the same four walls. Of course you're depressed. Look at what you're looking at every day, you know? But at the same time, you know, I've been there, done that. I've tried it, and it works to an extent, but to another extent, people can get off into delusional, where they're not paying attention to red flags because everything is cupcakes and roses, and they're not making the tough decisions because it doesn't feel good, and it's all about positive vibes. It's toxic positivity, right? And so, right, not doing the work, the healing work, because that doesn't feel good. So, I mean, I hear you, but I think, like, it has to be weighed, because too much of anything can be not a good thing, right? Even a good thing. Oh, look at that. I want my MTV to say no thank you, James. Send it to Crowned Live. Oh, y'all are sweet. Y'all are so sweet. Y'all are kind. Cynthia is saying, thanks at James. I want a trip to Puerto Rico. Cynthia wants a trip to Puerto Rico. I've been wanting a trip off this rock. How about that? I've been wanting a trip off this rock. I have questions that need to be answered. Are y'all getting tired of this rock yet? Or are y'all enjoying the clown show that's going on around the world? Look, I want my MTV is saying I'm an Aqua Sun, double Leo Moon and Rising. Holy crap. See? I'm telling you, that eclipse cycle of 2017 with Leo and Aqua, I knew for you to be hit that hard, you had to have those placements. And you know what was so brutal about that time is that I don't think people understood. I remember, and again, this is around the time, gosh, probably like right before I lost my home. I was watching a lot of tarot because I was trying to like figure out what's going to happen, what's going to happen, what's going to happen. And there were readers out there who were like, I'm not doing the Aquarius reading this month because I got into a fight with an Aquarian and I just don't like y'all. I don't even know what their problem is. And I'm like, well, try having an eclipse in your sign. Maybe you won't be doing well. Maybe you need a fucking reading. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. But I mean, and then that was about the time I launched my channel, okay? And I'm going to tell you how brutal it was. Like, I don't tell a lot of people this story, all right? Because this is some humility here, all right? But again, by the time you reach 50, you've probably been through something like this before in your life, okay? So when I lost my home, and all these people who I thought were my friends kind of disappeared, MIA, I ended up putting like all my stuff in storage. And I'm not gonna say like how bad it got, but in order to like protect my belongings, I put all my stuff in a 10 by 15 storage unit, and it was there for a year. And for most of that year, myself and my two daughters were in a hotel room while I launched this channel, and I worked a job in the middle of the night so that I could launch this channel and do this business. It was hard. I did like 60 hours a week, and people just didn't want to get involved. Not my problem. You know what I'm saying? And people weren't understanding Aquarians. It's like, my God, just figure out what the hell, like, would you be in a great mood if that was your life? If that's what you were going through? So rough, so brutal. And so, yeah, a lot of people don't know this about me, but when I launched this channel, sometimes I was doing readings out of a hotel room, or I'd go do private readings at a park, and I'd film it over there and upload it from Barnes & Noble nearby, and where I could get free Wi-Fi. And like, they look at me like, oh, you got a channel, you've really got it together. No, I bootstrapped it, baby. I did. I bootstrapped it. I made it happen. Right. But I know Spirit was kind of backing me in a corner, because I had been told like 6 months prior by an astrologer. Actually, he's on here. Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank? I'm trying to remember his name. Okay. So I got an astrology reading from the Peace Dealer. Okay. And he told me, he's like, you're not supposed to be working for people. And until you figure this out, you're going to keep encountering problems. And, you know, because Spirit wants you to figure this out. You gotta figure it out. Hey, Red Robin. No, it's not Leo. Well, he did work with Leo King for a while there, but it was Peace Dealer who did the reading. Yeah. He's worked with Astrolata as well. And so, yeah, he told me, he's like, you're not supposed to be working for people, and until you figure this out. And so, yeah, I finally got the memo, you know, after losing my job. And I'm like, okay, fine. I surrender, universe. I surrender, whatever. And I made this channel happen. And again, a lot of misconceptions. People think, oh, you know, you got a channel, you got it all together. No, I've like bootstrapped it all together. That's what I did. And 4 years later, I'm still here, you know. But I also, that was honestly, that was birthed out of very traumatic time. So as humiliating of a story as that is, we all have our humiliating stories, right? I hope that somebody out there related to what I'm saying, that maybe you're going through a crisis right now. Maybe you are going through the darkest days. But something bigger than you can conceive is maybe being rebirthed out of this death. You know what I'm saying? Let me go back and look at some of these comments. Cynthia's saying, this is my first time here. I'm burned out. Hard to express, but 25 years ago, I was mobbed on my job. Oh my gosh. It was a bullying by a group. I was a teacher. I became very depressed, lost my career. I am so sorry. Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that. As again, you know, in those moments, you are asking maybe, why, God, why? Why did you allow that? And it might be, again, God is trying to get you off that, like, you're on the wrong path. And I know it's ugly. I hate it, right? Like, I argued with God after I lost that job. I'm like, really? Really? Did you have to do that? Could we just do something different? Like, couldn't we go about this a different way? Did you have to make it happen like that? And I prayed and I heard God say, yeah, I had to, because you weren't going to leave the job. You know you weren't going to leave that job, Stephanie. And I thought about it and I was like, yeah, I wasn't going to leave that job. Because I had 3 kids to support. No way in hell at midnight was I going to just quit my job, not pay my bills, and not have a house anymore. I wasn't going to do it. But you can't just start a prosperous business like that. And that's exactly was my path, is to be self-employed. And God wanted me on my path. But in order to do that, I have to drop all that baggage. Highly inconvenient at that time in my life, given the fact that I have 3 kids and no child support, and I didn't come from a background where I had support, and doing my life purpose from family. So, it's brutal sometimes if we get so far off of our path, what God will do with these tower moments and with these eclipses. By the way, we're coming into eclipse season. I'm going to talk about it when I put out videos next week on the April astrology, okay? But these holy shifts that come in, and that's what happened to me was, during the eclipse cycles for Aquarius and Libra, that's when I got hit so hard. If y'all have any Scorpio or Taurus, I don't want to scare y'all, okay? But especially the fixed signs are really probably going to get the hardest hit with these eclipses. I don't want to scare y'all, okay? But the fixed signs, which are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, are going to feel this eclipse at the end of the month, probably the most intensely, okay? Holy shifts. Buckle up. Let me go back. I've gotten behind on some of these comments. Daphne's saying, I would love a garden with plenty of organic vegetables. Me too. Me too. I used to have one back in 2013, but I lost that with my divorce. So, and I haven't recovered that since, but I've been trying to do container gardening since then. Maybe try that and I'm trying to do like a kitchen gardening. That's something cool that I'm trying to get into, Daphne. Let's see what else. Denise is saying, I hope he sends you that. Wouldn't that be amazing? It really would, because I tell you what, God is my witness. I was saying a prayer. I've been saying prayers a couple times over the last few days, because I don't want to put all my personal business out on the internet, but shit's getting real. I'll just sum it up like that. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I will leave it at that. Highly favored is saying, girl, I left my Cancerian husband of 23 years a month before my 45th birthday. Over 6 years. I left the car and the house to him, and I left with the freedom and 2 teenage sons. Oh my gosh, you are a brave soul. You're a brave soul. See, I don't know if you told me that before about having a Cancer ex, okay? But I think, yeah, Highly Favored and I have a lot of similar placements in Pisces, okay? A lot of water. And something I've learned is, you need to friend zone the water sign males, okay? I hate it. I hate to say it. I really hate it. But if they tell me most definitely that they're Cancer, like, run for the border, okay? Like, get the heck out of Dodge. Like, matter of fact, this one guy, it was like maybe about a year ago, Cancer male was interested in me, and I'm like, hell no. I think the only water sign male I would make an exception for is Scorpio, because my descendant is Scorpio. Other than that, I'm like, We got enough water going on over here. Okay. I don't need any more water. That's very destabilizing. Very. But good for you, highly favored, because I can just imagine what you went through and you probably need to get the heck out of that. No offense to cancers, okay? My Saturn is Cancer, so I've had it rough with cancers in my life. A lot of karma, a lot of heaviness. But that doesn't mean every that one that's Cancer is like that, right? Um, and Denise is saying, thank you for your opinion. I understand your point totally. Got to do the work to see the outcome. I get that. I think you're talking about being balanced, right? Yeah, being balanced with the optimism and all that. That's good. I learned the hard way. I'm just going to tell you. I mean, I used to be so optimistic and speaking only life, speaking only positive affirmation. I was doing that for a while. That was a spiritual, I went through this spiritual phase where I was doing that to the point that people thought I was like, even in the midst of a crisis, I wouldn't speak the obvious, right? And it almost looked like I wasn't coping with reality. So I try to get that in check. I think I have. But it's kind of, we have to balance, keep doing this, right? Sometimes I get too negative and pessimistic and sober. Just try to weigh it out. Okay, let's see. Daphne's saying, been there very hard, and our babies made it hurt even more. Brings bad. Oh, I know. And she says, I have 2 daughters as well. It's extremely hard. This is something that I've been grappling with over the last year. I had last May, I had probably the worst Mother's Day. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but my kids are very scarred still. I think that they saw me working hard and they knew that I was sacrificing and that I had been dealt some unfair things. But they're still damaged by what wasn't given, wasn't provided. And to this day, I am struggling to repair that damage as much as I can. And it's hard. It's really hard, and in fact, something happened yesterday where, again, not going into too much detail, but it was a shortfall on my part. And I realized that I had embarrassed my daughter, and I asked her, I'm like, oh my God, did I embarrass you? And she's like, yeah, a little bit. And I said, well, I'm really sorry. And I kind of sat with it and I thought about it, and I just told her, I said, look, I'm sorry that my problems are causing you problems. And I really meant that, but it's like, it's hard if you are in that situation. And I think highly favored can relate to this as well, that no one person was designed to like single parent. If you're juggling all of that on your own, eventually you're going to drop a ball. A ball is going to drop. And unfortunately, like for me, the balls that got dropped, I apologize and I try to like fix it, and I try to have self-love and self-compassion and tell myself, Stephanie, it was inevitable. You're going to drop a ball. I mean, there's only so many things you can juggle at one time, but it's rough. It's rough. I try to be self-compassionate. So, yeah, Denise is saying victim mentality is an energy that can be so difficult to deal with. Yeah, I do think, I feel like definitely some wrongs were done, Denise. There are people who have responsibility and they were irresponsible, which put an unfair burden on other people who were responsible, and so I think there's a time and a place to feel that grief and process it, but I think that I'm now at the point of how do we repair the damage? You know, how do we move beyond it? How do we have an overcoming spirit? So let me go back on some of these. Daphne is saying, I've been pushed by my angel to do astrology, but I haven't took the leap of faith. It's so hard. You mean tell me like do astrology like professionally or do you on your channel or tell me more about that, Daphne. Aditya is saying I need $1 million. Yeah, well, don't we all? Don't we all? And I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Aditya. Daphne, or I'm sorry, Denise is saying I'm relating big time. I want my MTV. Says definitely a humbling experience having to squat in my son's home. I also have my things in storage for 2 years. Worked 2 jobs to get back on my feet. YouTube tarot readings really helped me get my mind. It says you've helped me immensely. Thank you. Thank you so much. That really does my heart good. Because sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you, I am like, what the hell am I doing? Even my kids, they've seen the work that I put into this channel when I was doing like 60 hours a week. And then they saw, the pay and they're like, this is an injustice. Stop giving. But when I hear that I'm helping people, and that is my main purpose. I mean, of course I want to live comfortably, and no, that doesn't mean living in the Taj Mahal. But when I can't do that, it's really hard. It's really discouraging. But the words help. The words of encouragement really help. And let's see what else. Yeah, and I want to say I want my MTV. Those 2 years. My God, very, very humbling. Because people, in this society, money is equivalent to power. And if you don't have money, you don't have power. And there are a lot of people who exploit the weak. This is a shocking thing that I learned from that experience, is that financial ignorance is expensive. It really is, because you have people who exploit you. They will do things. They will try to get away with things that they ordinarily would not, that are maybe illegal. They know that if you have the resources, you would fight them in a court of law. But when they know that you don't have the resources to fight back, they will do things. And it is shocking, because I was like, oh my God, I am a single mother. You're actually going to do this? How do you sleep at night? Oh, plenty of them do. Trust me. It's very shocking. During that time frame, I saw the dark side of humanity. I saw demons coming out of people, okay? Like, really. And people look down upon you and they pity you. It's very humiliating. And I will tell you, there are many times when I went to during that year, that I went to my 10 by 15 storage unit and I opened it up and I just sat in there with my belongings, my entire life, in a 10 by 15 storage unit. And I just cried with God. You get real clear about where you stand with people and what you value when something like that happens. It's very humbling, very humbling. So Denise is saying, yes, sometimes we have to stand firm on what is best for you. Yeah, I do think that was a very pivotal time in my life where I stopped tending to other people so much, and I realized like I have to save myself. I have to like, you know, um, I have to focus on myself. I have to stop saving people who frankly wouldn't throw me 2 cents if they saw me living under a bridge with my 2 kids. I mean, that was a slap in the face. That was a major wake up call for me that I'm giving my life away to people who are just bored and lonely. You know, that's their only reason. Like, they're not really my friends. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got Alex Jones here. Right. I see this coming up, and we're going to get rid of that. And we're reporting for harassment and bullying. You're welcome. Because I'm not having it. All right, they're out. I don't know if y'all saw that, but I'm getting them out. I don't do that. It is a troll. Absolutely. Got him off. I reported him, so good luck with that. And I'm removing this person. That's and I'm hiding him from the channel. Okay. Like, we don't do that. We don't do that at all. I'm not going to let that person take much more time. Let me get back to this. I want my MTVs saying God never makes mistakes. These towers are meant to get us on our path. I know it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal, the tower that came in for me. And I'll tell you, back then when that happened, I'm going to tell you a kind of interesting story about tarot. So when this tower moment happened, I kept doing cards, you know, like what's going to happen, what's going to happen, what's going to happen. And I kept getting the Justice card, which a lot of readers will interpret as, oh, there's going to be a judgment or a ruling in your favor. And and then like all the shit hit the fan, everything went south. And I was like, again, I was praying and meditating on it. I'm like, what was that about? Why was I getting the tower? I mean, why was I getting the Justice card? This is not justice. This is injustice. I was like arguing with God, because I do that sometimes. I'll like argue with God. Oh, why? Like, do you see this? Do you see this? This is ridiculous. Like, I have this kind of relationship with God sometimes. So anyway, I was asking about this Justice card because it didn't seem to come true in my opinion. And I'm like, what was that about? And I felt like God was like, yeah, well, you did get justice, because that was not going to be just for you to continue working for those people. They did not deserve you. And besides, I'm not going to let you go sit in a cubicle somewhere in a high-rise building and be forgotten for 40 plus hours a week. That's an injustice. And I'm like, wow. So again, I got this insight, like what you think is fair and just might not be what God thinks is fair and just. That tower you're trying to like keep, like, don't fall apart. Like, no, just stay there. Just stay put. Like, no. God doesn't want it. There's something better. There's something better. So I totally agree with your point. All right, the Truth Warrior is here saying good evening, Stephanie. It's me, Susan. Oh, Susan, good to hear from you. She says, hope you are doing well. Love the reads you did for me. Oh, thank you so much. I've got quite a few men that are interested in me, but I'm not interested right now focusing on me and my life purpose. Susan, I know you emailed me, and I got to email you back. I apologize. I have been like all over the board. But I will respond to your email. I am glad that you enjoyed your readings. I enjoyed doing them for you. By the way, Susan's talking about the Life Mastery readings that I have on discount this month. Okay, 50% off. By the way, prices are going up $40 in April. I forgot to mention that. My prices are going up in April. Okay, so if you want a deep discount, I'm talking like saving $140 per these readings, okay? Then you want to get in on that deal now because the clock's ticking. It's going to expire. I'm not doing it again past, because these are deep, comprehensive readings for anybody who's interested. But getting back to the comments here. By the way, thanks for commenting, Susan. Truth Warrior. Love that. Love that name, the Truth Warrior. Okay, and Daphne is saying a moment at a time it takes. Denise is saying victim mentality is an energy that can be so difficult to deal with. Yes, time to repair. Keep calling in white light to surround you. It does help. Girl, whatever. I mean, I will do whatever it takes. And, even when I was like a Christian, a hardcore Christian, which I still consider myself a Christian, but I mean, in my really, like when I was deeply steeped in it, God is my witness. I would do whatever to get a breakthrough. Like if I had to do prayer, fasting. One time we knew somebody went to jail. We drove around, me and a friend, we drove around the jail like I don't know how many times praying for that person to get released. Release. So, I mean, and again, that was kind of like a crazy Christian thing, but when you need a breakthrough, you'll do whatever, at least I will, white light, prayer, fasting, whatever. My gosh, please, we need our breakthroughs. I'm totally open to it. Okay, and I want my MTV is saying Ho'oponopono help me get past the victim mentality. Yes, I actually, right, that's a Hawaiian term, a Hawaiian phrase, and I'm probably butchering it, but I talked about it a little bit in one of my videos that I put out. Gosh, I'm even trying to remember which one that was. Look it up what she's saying. But it's basically an affirmation. I'm trying to remember. If you could remind me, that would be good. I want my MTV. Remind me it's basically an acceptance. It's like, I love you, I forgive you, I accept, I release, something along those lines, where you pray that over yourself and the person that maybe you have a problem with. So I did a little bit of self-healing work, and I used that practice as well. It is very powerful. It actually is. I did feel some heaviness lift off of me after I did that. Daphne is saying, yes, do astrology to help people for professional but hesitant. Well, I want to encourage you, Daphne, if you're looking at going into astrology professionally, I just want to encourage you to do it. I mean, I feel like we learn by doing, and it's humbling, because I feel personally like I do have on my business cards that I'm an astrologer, because that's just the most succinct way to explain it. But frankly, honestly, I feel like I'm a student of astrology always. I'm constantly learning, and there's always something to learn. And I do feel that there are a lot of people out there that humble me, because I feel like, man, this person's so much better at astrology than I am. But again, we learn by doing. Just see the other day, like when I was doing the readings for Susan, I kind of had to pat myself on the back, right? Not that I'm perfect or that I got it all down, right? But I kind of patted myself on the back. I'm like, You've come a long way since you started doing this full time professionally in 2017. I'm kind of maybe a little bit embarrassed of my work from back then. But I mean, on the positive, like, well, I really learned a lot and I'll continue to, you know? Yeah, I want my MTV saying that's a Hawaiian mantra. Exactly. Um, Let me go back here. Let's see, I don't want to miss anybody. Um, Daphne is saying, no, let me go back. KHP, this is a new name. Too much water and too strong, an emphasis on Pisces energy period between the Sun, Jupiter, and Neptune all being part there. My husband passed away on the 19th, 7 years ago. It's still hard. I am so sorry, KHP. I don't know that we ever get over losses like that, right? I don't think we ever do. I'm sorry. Um, we're dealing with a lot of Pisces energy, and I have a lot of Pisces energy in my chart. So does highly favored that's here. So we're not hating on Pisces energy. It's just that, it's time. It's time for some fire. We need to light things up. We need to get things moving. Daphne is saying, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I've helped a lot of people where I am, but to do it professional, just not sure what to do. I don't know, maybe message me at crownwithgloryreborn@gmail.com, and maybe we could talk a little bit about it over email. Might not be the quickest to respond because I got a lot of irons in the fire, and I know I got like 2 people I need to respond to on email right now. But definitely, we could talk on email if you want, Susan. Not Susan, Daphne. Sorry about that. Okay. And Cynthia's saying what I experienced seemed demonic. It showed me what was underneath some people and this transfer to evil we now see worldwide. I'm not entirely sure what you were talking about, Cynthia. Let me go back. I think, are you talking, you're talking about the 2017 eclipses in Aquarius and Leo, where you went through this loss, I think is what you're talking about. Yeah, I saw a lot of demons coming out of people. Hells, yeah. I saw the dark side of humanity, and I was deeply, deeply disturbed. I mean, I was shocked. Like, wow, people actually do this and they get away with it and they can sleep at night. Oh yeah, they do. Mm-hmm. All day, every day. Yeah, Daphne, I see your comment about Alex Jones. I can guarantee that's not Alex Jones. But we got him out of here, okay? We did. I actually like Alex Jones, confession. I mean, he's got a little bit of crazy, but do you know Alex Jones was born February 11th, 1974 in Texas? And I was born February 12th, 1975 in Texas. So I relate to Alex Jones a lot. Like when he does like his crazy stuff, I'm like laughing, I'm rolling. Like people hate that stuff and I just think it's hilarious. I don't know, maybe I have a weird sense of humor, but I enjoy it. Like I get it. Or when he gets on his rants, I'm like, yeah, like man, I feel like Alex Jones might be kind of the male version of me, slightly. But that particular one that came in on my chat, you gotta go. Don't come back. Okay. Denise is saying you're a gift to many. Keep doing what you're doing as long as it works for you. I don't know, I'm just working it. Thank you. Thank you. I just, like the last year or so, what I've posted on here, I think total over the last year, maybe I've earned $100 in YouTube AdSense, 12 months worth of work. And there's Miss Kitty. So, I mean, sometimes I ask myself, why am I doing this? And, there are a lot of business people who would be like, this is stupid. Why are you doing this? Even my kids sometimes are like, why? What's the point? And so, but I don't know. It goes back to my conscience. And let me get her. She's tempted. She wants to. Do you want to say hi, Miss Kitty? She wants to tip things over. Mugs, tea kettles. She loves to do that. So I had to get her away from there. But anyway, at this point in time, I figure we're living in clown world. Nothing makes sense. Everything's fake, illusion, truth tellers have a rough time in this matrix. And that's what I'm here to do, is to be a truth teller. So whether it pays or not, I'm going to do it. I'm going to live my conscience, say what I got to say, whether, it makes business sense or not. And hopefully the tide turns. Like I said from the beginning of this broadcast, some of you are just not joining in. I'll repeat again that I set up my channel over on BitChute and on Odyssey. And I have the links for that in the description box down below, okay? So I'm trying to build on other platforms where the censorship is not bad. I don't have to worry about that in the future. And I'm able to actually earn crypto, which is a lot more solid than fiat. I'm going to talk about that next week when I put out the astrology, okay? But yeah, I want my TV as saying walk in your integrity always. That's what I'm doing. And let me go back and look at some of these other comments. And hi. I don't know who this is. Thick Chicken Nuggy saying hi. Is that my, by chance, is that my youngest? I don't know. Just got to ask, because she's very fond of calling chicken nuggets chicky nuggies. That's her little thing. You want some chicky nuggies? That's cute. That's so cute. KHP is saying yes to the alternative platforms. Follow Tarl Warwick. If you don't already, his model for content diversification is unassailable. It takes time to infiltrate those platforms, but it's worth it. Yeah, I'm going to write that down. Thank you for the tip, KHP. I really believe that, see what I said? Look at it. It's just too tempting. I believe that God is working through people, and so if somebody gets a message, come on. If somebody gives me a message, I take it like God might be using you to get a message to me, right? So I'm going to look into that. That's an interesting name I haven't heard of before. Is it Tarl or, yeah, Tarl Warwick. Okay. And yeah, Truth Warrior said, yeah, she got all three of the, this is just too tempting, Miss Kitty, too tempting. By the way, this is the second one I got because I kid you not, this cat knocked it over, fell on the floor, and shattered everywhere. That's how obsessed she is. Put it down on the ground. So it's no longer fascinating. You can find something else to get entertained with. Okay. Denise is saying, glad I caught you first time here. It's been a pleasure. See you again soon. Have a great night, y'all. You too, Denise. Thanks for popping in and hope to connect with you again. Truth Warrior is saying, yeah, it's not the real Alex Jones. Yeah, it's not. All right, what else? Daphne's saying we're always learning. Yes, Gemini rising. I want my MTV. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I don't know why you're saying that. That's your. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. That's it. Okay. What she's saying is the Hawaiian mantra, ho opono, or I'm butchering it, I'm sure, is I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. It's a meditation. So you could say it to yourself. You could direct that energy to yourself or to somebody else that you're trying to heal, you know, just to calmly within yourself repeat it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Daphne's saying, I definitely will reach out to you. Good. I'm looking forward to it, and saying good night, prayers and peace to all, and love. Back at you, Daphne. Back at you. And I want my MTV is saying hello, Miss Kitty. Yeah, she's being needy right now. She's definitely being needy. Lord Shadow, welcome in, is saying, why do you guys ask tarot cards for answers? Why not ask and rely on the Holy Spirit to answer your questions and lift the burdens off of you? Well, I do both. You know, a lot of times when I'm shuffling, I call upon Holy Spirit to, you know, guide me. And so the cards are a tool for sharpening intuition. I'm going to have to remove this cat from here. But I have been on for a while, so I'm probably going to get off shortly. But anyway, yeah, I want my MTV is saying I love her name, Thick Chicky Nuggies. That's funny. Reminds me of my daughter. My daughter says stuff like that. I'm going to have to get this cat. But I tell you what, I am probably going to log off instead. And I'll deal with her. But yeah, it's been good. We've been on here for a while and working on 2 hours now. And I've said a lot, so I hope, you know, I hope it hasn't been too long. And I look forward to doing these live chats. I'd like to do it maybe once a month, you know. But I'm going to go live again, by the way, and do readings on the 1st. So be on the lookout for that. Next week, astro videos coming out. And so fun stuff. But yeah, I'm going to sign off here. And I want my TV saying good night. Yeah, good night to you too. It was a pleasure. Thanks for joining. And I'll talk to y'all again soon. Y'all be blessed. Yeah, if I can